Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Frugalisama. My name's Sam, where I talk about all things sewing, specifically dressmaking. And today I've got a November makes video. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed recently. I'm truly grateful, and to everybody who's been watching these videos from the beginning as well. I really do appreciate it. I've reached my 1,000 subscribers now, and I've posted the video for the winner of the £25 voucher, and that is in my what I'm now dubbing the Frugal Friday video, so I will leave a link to that at the end. So well done to the winner of that. Today I'm just going to run through the things that I've made throughout the month of November. So there's a good chance that you might have seen quite a few of these, because I have reviewed quite a few of them throughout November as I've been making them. But I thought it'd be interesting to just put everything together, just in case you haven't seen any of those videos. So I've brought along my able assistant again, Mandy the mannequin. She wanted a little bit of stardom, so here she is wearing what I'm now dubbing the Cali Low dress, and I made this out of what we've decided is a Pima cotton lawn, which I got from my local market in Huddersfield. This fabric is available in lots of other places, but it's where I specifically bought it from, and it was only £8 a metre as opposed to what other places are charging. So I'm calling it the Cali Low because it is a blend between the Calais shirt from Closet Core Patterns and the Melly Low shirt from Deer and Doe. Basically, I've used a Calais shirt as a basis. I've grafted on the sleeves from the Melly Low, because there is a sleeve package, but I think it's an additional $6 or something like that. So I had both patterns, so I wanted to experiment to see whether it was feasible, and it is. So the main fabric is this Pima cotton lawn, and then I've just done the cuffs here with a light blue linen, and inside of the collar here, under the collar there. Just also used the technique in the Melly Low for finishing the hems. So it's all French seamed inside, and I don't know if you can see here that Mandy's wearing I've had my flu jab sticker. I had my first flu jab this year. So yeah, if you want a full review of that, I've got a video called Calais versus Melly Low, where I go into more detail of that one. But I love it, absolutely love it, and it's really comfortable to wear. This cotton lawn is an absolute dream to work with, and a dream to wear as well. So if you're thinking of making anything like pyjamas or anything like that for Christmas, it is the perfect fabric for it. It's just really lovely and soft and comfortable and breathable as well. If you're a woman of a certain age like me, you want something that's breathable. So yeah, I made it also as to sort of go in conjunction with the work from home module that I was working on throughout October, and I brought along the cardigan that I made for that, and as you can see, that goes perfectly. In fact, I'll just bob it on her. So I've just draped it over Mandy, just so that you can see how well that cardigan goes. And although the cardigan sleeves are quite slim fitting, it goes over those sleeves really well. So I've worn these together quite a lot because it's quite chilly here, and quite a thin cotton lawn. It's probably not enough coverage, but layered up like this is perfect. So I'm really pleased that I got it made. I'm really pleased that I managed to fit this Cali Low, as I'm calling it, in with the work from home module. And I've got another piece to wear along with that. That's a standalone piece. Obviously, it's not going to go with the bottoms, but it's a standalone piece. But goes well with the cardigan that I made with it to go with it. So with a pair of thick tights and boots, it's perfect for this time of year. And then in addition to that, I showed this bag on the video that I did about free bags. It's a Melisso's envelope clutch wallet, or wristlet, I think she calls it. So the denim is the denim from the work from home module that I made the Ariel skirt with, and inside we've got some leftovers from the Pima lawn. If I ever get to go out again, that will go again perfectly with that. And it's just big enough to put in a little my phone, lipstick, and a small wallet. And that's all I'll need when I'm going out, really, unless I'm taking my husband, and then I don't need the wallet. I made the Cali Low and the bag. This is all that I've got left of this 2 meters that I bought of this Pima lawn. So it's just little tiny scraps, and I have got some plans of what to do with what I had left over from this and all the other little bits and pieces from that work from home module. And if you watch this space, I've got some plans of what I'm going to do with all those. I'm going to put together a jacket which will incorporate them all, like a patchwork jacket, I think. And it would be just like a little memorial of everything that I've made from that module, and it would be just like a bit of a warmer outerwear to wear with all that work from home module. I probably won't get around to that until maybe I'm on my Christmas break or something like that. So, but I like to use everything up, and I'm always pleased when I can get the most out of the fabric that I'm using. So if I buy 2 meters, I don't like to use something that's only takes 1 meter and a bit, and then I've got this 3/4 of a meter that I don't know what to do with. So I'm always really pleased when I use it all up. That's why I'm called Frugalisama. So yeah, that's 2 things that I made that really part of the work from home module, and I'm really pleased that they sort of they fit in together. So another thing that I made that goes well with the work from home module is that I revisited the McCall's 6886. I made this one originally out of this light blue cotton single weight jersey, and I wasn't really happy with it. If you see the video, which I'll link at the end, you'll see the catalogue of disasters that I had made making this. So I cut it against the grain to start off with, so that the stretch goes in the wrong way. All sorts of trouble with inserting the V-neck, and my twin needle wouldn't work neither, so I had all sorts of trouble with it. And that has now been relegated to pyjamas. It's not wasted, I do still wear it, it's just that I don't wear it out. But luckily I had a little bit of fabric left, so I could revisit that pattern, and I've redone it, just used a different method for inserting this V-neck. So I've redone it, I've cut it out the right way this time. I only had enough to do 3/4 length sleeves, and yeah, everything went perfectly well this time. You live and learn, don't you? So I've just managed to get the twin needle working. I use exactly the same twin needle, same thread, everything. I have no idea why it wouldn't work. It just wasn't my day when I was making that original one. So yeah, I've got the twin needle working. So I've twin needled it all around the neckline, on the cuffs, and on the hem as well. And I just stabilise the hem. I've just put a little bit of interfacing, cut on the diagonal, so it sort of gives it a little bit of stretch, but it just gives it a bit of stability as well. And that's just a little trick that I use quite often on hems. So that's the second one that's part of this whole work from home module. So the next garment that I made is this Vera top that I'm wearing, and I made this out of a single cotton jersey that I bought from Fabworks quite some time ago. I will insert pictures of it while I'm talking. I absolutely love this pattern. If you've not seen the review that I made of it, I'll link to that so you can have a proper full review. I'm not going to do another full review, but I will just chat briefly about it. This is the V-neck insertion that I used on that McCall's. She uses a much simpler, I think, a much simpler method for inserting a V-neck, and I used that on that McCall's, and it turned out perfectly. So I will be using that method in future, and I'm going to put together a video of that V-neck insertion as part of my 100 days of sewing videos. And also I'm going to do 3 variations of this top as well. Just in case you've not seen the review of this top, I'll just briefly cover what it is. So you've got just a very subtle V-neck. It's not too deep, it's not, not too revealing. It's a wide gathered sleeve into a really long cuff, and there are 3 sleeve variations of that pattern. So you've got a narrower cuff that will stop there, and then you've got one that's ungathered and loose. So because I'm clumsy, I didn't go for the loose one because there's every chance that I'd end up with it in my soup, so there was no way I was going to go for that. And I just love the look of these deep cuffs. I just really love them. So yeah, the fabric was from Fabworks. I've got quite a bit of this fabric left. I did buy this fabric for another project, so I've got plans for making another t-shirt with this fabric so that I can use it all up. So yeah, the pattern instructions are really good, they come together really well, and like I say, I won't go into too much detail because I've got a full review of that. So when you see my next make, you'll see that it actually goes really well, and I'm kind of got a second module going on here, so so yeah, I can see me getting plenty of wear out of this Vera top. It's just my colours. I love the how it feels on. It's comfortable, it's warm, perfect for this time of year, and I've got plans afoot to make 3 different variations of it. So I'm thinking of altering the neck so it's a slash neck, maybe perhaps putting it into a polo neck and then making it into a dress, and I will make tutorials of those when I'm going to do it and make that as part of my 100 Days of Sewing series as well. So the final garment that I made is a little bit of a cheat because I only finished hemming it last night, but I did actually cut it out in November, so I'm including it. And if I didn't include it today, then I'd forget about it by the time I get around to doing my December makes. So that is the Desi skirt from Seamwork. I did a haul video sort of back end of October, I think it was, and it was part of my plans. And it's now Mandy's in the way now. Let's just have a look. Just had to move Mandy out of the way so I can show you in full. So can you see? Ah, there we go. So it's essentially a bias cut skirt, and it's elasticated waist, and I made it in a viscose, I think it's a viscose cotton jacquard, so you can see there it's kind of a leopard print but very subtle in the jacquard, so it just suits my style really. Can you see how the sort of rust in this Vera picks up in this skirt as well? I was really pleased that I've got something already that will fit in with this, and also the Pussy Bow blouse that I made as part of the capsule wardrobe has got that colour in as well. So because I only finished it last night, I need to try them on together to make sure that the style goes together. The colours definitely go together. I just need to try them on together. So the details of the Desi. I've not seen many people wearing this, but I was attracted to it straight away. Number one, they use a over 50 model, which always goes down well in my book. And it just looks like an easy to wear skirt, and it is. Because it's cut on the bias, it just skims over your body, and it's elasticated waist as well, so it's always going to be comfortable. But rather than go into too much detail in this video about the ins and outs of cutting on the bias, I will put together a separate video that will stand alone so that people can reference back top tips of sewing on the bias. So that should come out next week, I think. So the Seamwork Desi is quite an old pattern of theirs, I think. It's been out over a year or so, and I've had my eye on it for quite a while. And it is designed for woven fabrics, and it is cut on the bias. The pattern pieces come so that you're cutting the fabric flat, which I think is sensible when you're cutting on the bias. It is quite a simple pattern in that you've just got a top and bottom piece for the front and back, which you join together on the diagonal, join the side seams, which comes out at a flute, and then you construct your waistband, add your waistband, and bob in your elastic. It's just an elasticated waist. So it's quite a simple construction. It's just that it is cut on the bias, which you do want simplicity when you're cutting on the bias, really. Keep it as simple as possible. The fabric was really easy to work with. I can definitely recommend it. Can't find it on the Fabworks online shop, but they are open now, so if you are local, you can probably buy it in the shop. So I've finished all the insides with an overlocker. Red was the closest I could get, and I think it blends in quite nicely. I was going to French seam the insides, but I thought that was too much faffing about with seams that are cut on the bias. You want gentle handling really with bias cut seams. So I did less is more, I think, on that. And then I've just hand stitched the hem. And I did that whilst I was chatting to friends last night on a Zoom meeting. So yeah, I just prefer the look of a hand stitch hem. It's just my personal preference. So I did make the size 14 in this, which equates to the 34-inch waist and 44-inch hips. Didn't do any grading. I am closer to a 33-inch waist and probably more like a 42-inch hip now, so my hips would have fallen in with a size 12, but because it's cut on the bias and you're bringing that waist in with elastic, then I went for a size bigger rather than go for a size smaller and have everything too snug. Bias cut things just sort of hug to your body, and there's hugging and then there's squeezing, isn't there? So I just wanted it to hug. And I'm really pleased that I chose this colour. It's way out of my comfort zone. I never really wear burnt orange. It's not, you look at my skin tone. It wouldn't look great, I don't think, against my skin in a solid dress. You know, I'm not an autumn. This is more of an Alex Judge Sews colour. This would be perfect for her. But as a skirt, I think it's absolutely fine, and I think it really, you know, it's a way of wearing a colour that you like, but that doesn't necessarily go with your assigned colours, if you like. I'm not really too much into that, but I don't want something that's going to either wash me out or not suit me neither. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the skirt. I'll insert some pictures with me swishing about in it. It is lovely and swishy. There is another variation on the Seamwork website where it's gathered and it looks completely different. So have a look at the two variations. So two final things that are not garments that are made are some more bags. So November is Sewvember for Moore's bags, and they put on a little challenge for making a bag a day essentially throughout November. I didn't manage that this year, I was just too busy. I've set up my own group or pod, whatever you want to call it, and if anybody wants to join me in that, they can, if you don't want to set up your own. And it's just an easy way for Moore's bags to tally how many have been made, because they are really trying to sort of encourage people to use less plastic, keep the plastic out of the oceans, and use up scrap fabric. So I'll just briefly show you one that I've made. I did show this in my bag making one. Made them out of this old duvet cover. I had this donated when my craft group were making scrubs, and then we were asked to make some scrubs bags. Got them all cut out as scrubs bags, and then people had enough, they didn't need any more. So they were already sort of ready-made, so I've got about half a dozen more sort of cut out that I can make at any time when I'm just wanting to sew and don't know what to sew. Yeah, I use them for gift wrapping, and they're great for learning how to do a French seam. If you've never done a French seam, they're all French seamed on the inside. Gives it a bit of extra strength, and I've got a video of that as well. And all my Moore's bags have the label on. Somebody did just comment on my free bag pattern one that they didn't know it had to have the Moore's bag label on. It's just a way of getting people to talk about it. So if you want to make them and you don't want to buy the labels, which equate to something like 5p each, they're not making any profit on it. But I do want to promote these for no other reason than it is just close to my heart that we get the plastic out of the seas. If you want to make one and you don't want labels, don't want to put labels on, that's fine, just don't sell them. That's all I would say on that. You know, so long as the principles and that behind it are that you're keeping plastic out of the seas, and that you're recycling fabric, and that you're giving them away or using them. Obviously you can use them for yourself. This one's just got a little pocket in the front here, and you know, there's all sorts of different variations that you can do on it. Oh yeah, I made 8 Moore's bags throughout the month of November. I didn't achieve my target of 30, but 8's better than none, and I don't feel too bad about it. I think I've done my job promoting it over the various social media channels, so that's part of it, isn't it, talking about it. So my last and final make is the Coaster Tote from Helen's Closet, and I did show this again in my free bag video, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but not everybody sees all these videos, do they? It's made from leftover corduroy from some corduroy that I had given, and then this black Labrador fabric is from Terrace Fabrics. I think it was £8 a metre or £8.99 a metre perhaps. The only thing you need to watch is if you're using a directional print, then this pocket piece is cut on one long piece. So if you're using a directional print, those Labradors will be upside down on that side, so you need to cut it in half and give yourself a seam allowance. So it is a bit fabric hungry in that it's fully lined, therefore it's reversible if you want it to be reversible. I wouldn't reverse it with these polka dots. You could have the pockets in the inside, you could leave the pockets off. I think there's lots of scope for variation on this as well. And I've been using this every day for work, and it's massive. You get loads and loads in it. All these pockets are great for, got an umbrella in there, what have I got in here? Hand sanitizer in that one, work ID in that one. So the only thing is, if you don't like an open bag, then you could potentially put a magnetic snap across here. This is great for going to the library. I mean, how many books can you get in there? Oh, groceries, obviously. But it's nice and sturdy, nice and solid, and I would definitely recommend this bag if you're looking for a tote bag for a gift for Christmas. And if you want more ideas on free bag patterns, I've got a full video of that I put out last week. I'll leave links to the full reviews of the ones that I've done in my description box below, and as always there are links to all the patterns that I talk about in the description box below as well. So look out for videos on adapting this Vera pattern. I will be putting that together over the next couple of weeks, and a cutting and sewing on the bias video as well. I will put that together. Next Sunday I'll have a fabric haul. I've got some more fabrics that I've had delivered over the last couple of weeks or so. So thank you for watching. Keep on subscribing and liking the videos, and if you like this sort of thing, let me know if I've inspired you to make any of the patterns that I've been talking about. I shall speak to you later. Bye.